Good morning. It's Tuesday, December 8th, and something historic has happened in Congress. Not the usual crap, and we're waiting and waiting and waiting. Nobody even saw this coming. Maybe some people did, but I certainly never saw it coming. The House, Congress, has passed a bill that would decriminalize marijuana at the federal level. You know, many states have legalized marijuana, but it has never been legalized nationally. It's always been a criminal act. So now Congress has gone ahead and decriminalized marijuana. And the MORE Act, as it's called, would remove marijuana from the Controlled Substances Act and eliminate criminal penalties for individuals who manufacture, distribute, or process marijuana. Now, this vote, which took place on Friday, is the first time a chamber of Congress has voted on federal marijuana decriminalization, but it has little chance of passing the Republican-led Senate. The bill passed largely on party lines. 222 Democrats and 5 Republicans voted for the bill. And then there was one independent who voted for the bill too, while 158 Republicans and 6 Democrats voted against the bill. Interestingly enough, Matt Gaetz, the Republican congressman who was caught in New Jersey at that infamous party where the governor went nuts because everybody was not wearing a mask and they were crowded in a room and he threatened Gaetz. He voted for decriminalizing marijuana. And that would seem to be in character for him. Now, why is Congress taking this action? Because millions of Americans have had their lives upended as a result of convictions for possessing small amounts of marijuana. And there is a huge racial disparity in the conviction rates for those offenses. And those disparities are shocking when they really are very unjust in many cases. And so that's the reason, the primary reason, that Congress has taken this action. And they have called this the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act. That's where the acronym MORE comes from, M-O-R-E, Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment Expungement, MORE Act. Now, I had a brother, an older brother, who smoked marijuana. He was marijuana. And he had a lot of other bad habits, and those habits caused him to die very young. So I'm in favor of decriminalizing this. I think going to jail for doing this thing is a terrible thing. However, I'm not so sure I can agree that using marijuana is any different in my mind than using liquor. You know, I don't want to see people driving around drunk, and I don't want to see people driving around high. So I have mixed emotions about this thing. I think that the penalties are severe, too severe for what is going on, but then if somebody high on marijuana has an accident and kills somebody, that's not good either. So I really have no opinion or a solution on this. I think I have to see it run its course for a while and then make some kind of determination, which is what I would hope that those who write laws would do. The MORE Act also includes a process to remove prior convictions known as expungement, and conduct sentencing review hearings for federal cannabis offenses. So basically, they're going to remove those things from your record, which I guess is okay if we've now sort of legalized it. The article doesn't say if there's any kind of limit on expungements. I guess if you were a big-time seller and it caused many people deaths and things like that, I don't know if I would want your conviction to be expunged, for instance. The MORE Act would also authorize a 5% sales tax on marijuana products. And that money is to be used in services such as job training, legal aid, and substance abuse treatment for individuals adversely affected by the war on drugs. The tax revenue would also provide funds for small business loans and allow access to marijuana licensing and employment for economically disadvantaged individuals. So the MORE Act essentially is going to create jobs, I'm sure, according to this. But I don't know if those jobs are going to be available to everybody or whether just poor marijuana users. It's not clear exactly how they intend to do this job training program using this marijuana tax. It's also not clear whether these jobs would be for many different things or whether they would be directly related to the marijuana industry. Well, on top of this, Mitch Mcconnell is pissed. He criticized the House for moving on the bill instead of passing parts of the COVID-19 stimulus bill that both parties agreed on. He said the House of Representatives is spending this week on pressing issues like marijuana, serious and important legislation befitting this national crisis. They're just wasting their time. This bill is not a new thing. This bill was actually started last July. And yeah, there are many out there that feel that this is not a serious bill and that Congress is wasting their time on it. And I would have to agree to that. If this is taking away time from the stimulus package, then it's definitely wasting time. Because what's the difference if it runs for another week or two or a month or so before they get around to this, if they get the stimulus package out of the way? But I guess if you look at it politically, they think it's a good idea because of the disparity in the amount of minorities that are caught with marijuana and get longer sentences than, say, some rich white kid who does the same thing. So I can understand that they are making a racial judgment on this bill and putting it out there to show people that we're looking out for people of color, communities of color, And I guess that's politics at the highest level. In fact, it turns out that Kamala Harris has introduced a similar bill on the floor of the Senate, but it's lying in the dead letter box, so to speak, because nothing's going to happen to it as long as Mitch McConnell's there. Bottom line is, I really don't know how important this federal act would be since the states keep increasing their numbers in marijuana legalization. So this might just be a waste of time, and they really probably should be working on the stimulus package. So that's all I have to say this morning, and hopefully you'll all have a good day, and I'll say goodbye till tomorrow. Bye.